Ask whatever you want about decaffeination. I invented it.
I'm afraid I'm getting wood ironing board. Trying to find some spice of some kind, and perhaps dried fruit, maybe fresh fruit, maybe plum. But again, it's a very reduced, subdued aroma. Not unpleasant, but certainly not exciting. Simple. Good sweetness. Now I'm thinking the fruit is dried cherry.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
overly
interesting.
specific, but
Cherry.
nut.
Yeah.
Maybe some nuts here, some sweet nuts. Cashew. Yeah,
Cashew?
I can get cashew now. Well, that's something. There's some generic floral notes, perhaps. But there's that ironing board, that sort of moist, hot cloth.
Is that the decaf, do you think, is the decaffeination method is giving us that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a recurrent note today.
It's, I think, a symptom of the fact that you're taking the caffeine out and you're taking other stuff out with it. That's a kind of a note, sort of associated perhaps with the cellulose. I think that's unfair to get into that because I'm getting a lot more than cellulose here. It is all subdued, softened, if you want to be positive.
Yes.
I keep coming back to there's a kind of a floral toned molasses that I'm getting. Well, I'm giving up on the aroma and having a sip here. There's not much here, and it's a lot of wood, and I'm afraid maybe even a little metallic edge to the wood.
Mm.
Maybe it's just the fact that I'm not getting caffeine, and so I'm getting worn down. But
let's talk about that. Is caffeine a flavor enhancer, a stimulant to the taste buds? It's a stimulant.
I have no idea.
Well, I don't either, but
you can't taste it. I know because I've tasted it.
We're tasting the absence of it, in effect, or are we? I mean, I understand this isn't purely scientific, but it is one of the stages of scientific inquiry is observation, and certainly both of us are practiced observers. I give me credit for that. I drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah. but yeah. But I would say what I want to squash is any sense that the caffeine adds to the taste, and that when you take that's such a simplistic idea that's been beaten down so long that I didn't even think of it. But you're not taking out anything in the caffeine itself. Should have said this at the beginning of the show. It's the process of removing the caffeine.
Yes. Sure. Yeah. It's a heavy-handed process. When you started explaining what Swiss water involves, my first thought is, wow, I'm amazed it tastes as much like coffee as it does.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
it's a heavy-handed process. It's not something slight.
A lot of complications to that water-only process, nuance, and that I won't get into. I should say, too, that there's another water-only decaffeination process and company. It's called Mountain Water, and it's in Mexico. But the process is essentially the same as Swiss water. I think what disappoints me with this cup is that the structure is not that pleasing. It's no acidy brightness, no lift to it that I can get. The sweetness is there, it's available, but not in any exciting or dramatic way. It's not even very bitter. Sort of
No,
neutral. Yeah.
As it cools, I'm getting something. To me, there's kind of a low taste. I wish I could come up with the note.
Start
That's
talking
pleasant.
around it. It's pleasant.
That's pleasant. I'm getting a pleasant, really subdued, admittedly, but pleasant note low on it as it cooled.
What is it, Kevin? Can we
Okay,
identify
well,
it?
let's unveil it because I had some high hopes for this. This is one of my favorite coffees is Sumatra. And I happen to really like this roaster's Sumatra, their caffeinated Sumatra. Sumatra too.
Orange Daily Roast.
Yeah, it's Orange,
Is he
New
in
York,
Manhattan?
New York City. Yes, he is. As people in Manhattan tell me, that is New York.
Yes, I know. To me, Origin is not a good one for decaf. I mean, this is a kind of a standard idea in coffee that you want more pronounced and brighter, higher grown, denser bean for decaffeination. So in that case, I'm afraid that I would agree. I mean, we don't know really how much the origin character of the coffee contributes to its decaffeinated taste.
We don't know, partly because I know for this tasting we wouldn't know, but I'm so familiar with their Sumatra, which is one of my favorites. I mean, generally, he just seems to really go out of his way to get some interesting Sumatras. But this, I also don't know if that has any relevance with the one that he had the choice of for decaf. You can never assume that it's the same source of the caffeinated version at any roaster.
No, it's usually not, I think. Typically, the roaster does not buy the coffee and then send it for decaffeination. The roaster buys the coffee decaffeinated, probably tries to or does influence the choice of the coffee and the process through the decaffeination.
Please like and subscribe if you want to see more shows like this.